Hi, everybody. I am literally getting my hair cut live. How fantastic. That is my wife, Monica. She is talented in so many ways. She is she's great at paper art. Like when I say paper art, what I mean is like she's resurfaced our table with pages of Harry Potter. And then we have like some boxes that she's resurfaced. But then not like origami, but just kind of art dealing with the 3 dimensions of paper or paper in 3 dimensions. She's really good at that. And then also she's very funny. She's a good improv artist. And then she's also um, a former hairstylist and makeup artist, which is she's very good at that. So she's gonna cut my hair to save me. Well, first of all, we can't go to a hair salon to get this done, but also it normally saves me about 35 to 50 pounds. And we're doing it now. I just thought it'd be interesting because how often do you ever see someone on YouTube getting their hair cut? Although Monica's probably seen it a lot for like hair videos. That I don't see. But this is the COVID-19 quarantine. This is
me with my hot mess hair because we went for runs and it was raining.
Yeah.
So look.
Yeah. And she's wearing her Hamilton. No, that's Chicago, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's Hamilton, Chicago.
Hamilton, Chicago.
So all the stars are the Hamilton cast.
And I'm wearing a plastic bib. So I've asked her to cut my hair. I typically don't ask Monica to cut my hair because it's at home. She doesn't want to like do the work at home. And so I typically don't ask her to do it. And then also like I usually go to a barber, which is a different style. Monica's told me it's a different style of hair cutting. Like barbers, a lot more clippers. Like those things you just saw were clippers. And the hairstyle that Monica did was more shears and hair dyeing.
I mean, I do go to.
But I totally confirm with that or affirm what she has to say. But that barbering is typically more clippering over shears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I've asked her to do this because I have a performance tonight with Vanessa Anton online. So I don't think I've ever performed with Vanessa Anton except for once. We were on my podcast, we performed and it was a lot of fun.
International.
Oh, twice. Yeah, that's right. But it's very rare for how long we've been friends and how much we talk. It's only been twice, which is not a lot actually. I've improv with Jay Suko more. It's funny. Yeah. So this Monica's told me before that she doesn't like. I've told her like you should do improv. You should do hair cutting videos online because a lot of people watch those and they're very popular. And Monica was very successful in California, so that'd have been awesome. But she says that it's like any art form where there's multiple philosophies on how to do it. So you will do your Aveda trained style, and someone else will do their Paul Mitchell trained style, and it's all like how you. One person will like take the hair and flip it up, and then they will cut it like little mountaintops, and another person will keep it low and cut it like I don't know. But there's different philosophies and styles, and so even though the style you're doing works, it's very easy for people to be critical and go, "That's not the way I did it," you know. Just like any art form, like if I were to put online, here's how you do improv, unless it was very rudimentary techniques of, eye contact helps or whatever it is, there's still going to be people that go, "That's not the way it works for me," and so it's just hard. I think that's one of the reasons why social media tends to be so superficial is because there is so much. It's so easy to argue against specifics, and so we don't want to put specifics. We want to put vague motions out there because those are easy to defend. So that's why it tends to be superficial and not very positive. Because if you're critical from the get-go and someone else is critical as well, it's easier for you to go, look, we're similar. We're both critical of this thing. So that's why I said social media tends towards that direction. At the same time, when someone's successful and positive and stuff, it just blossoms really. When they're successfully positive, it just blossoms really big because that positivity is attractive. Like that's something that we all would like to have more of in our life. It's just hard to constantly make yourself vulnerable and then constantly be attacked by random people, even like fake accounts and stuff. It's just very hard. It's hard for certain people to stay motivated that way. So yeah, that's me getting a haircut and a couple little views on random social media stuff. Monica says the number one questions that every hairstylist gets asked is, Where did you train? No? What's the number one? Yeah. How long have you been doing
How
hair?
long have you been doing hair? Yeah, but not really. Most people don't know where you train because they don't know the different places.
Which is so funny because you don't walk into like a grocery store and walk to the cashier and go, "How long have you been a cashier?" Or you don't walk. It's strange. You don't go walk.
Yeah, but they're not doing something that's gonna affect, like bringing out your groceries is not gonna change how your hair looks or something about how you feel about yourself.
Okay, so there's 2 points that Monica brought up. One is I'm going to say, but people don't go to a nail salon and go, "How long have you been doing nails?"
No, but nails are less permanent. It's easier to take off their hair.
Did you see that? I don't know if you heard that because my microphone made kind of weird. She said nails are less permanent and easier to hide. But I think that that's very uncommon to ask someone that you find services for casually because there's such like a personal relationship built up because you're talking to the person and say, "How long have you been doing this?" It's almost like a very personal. It's almost like a date. It's like, "Do you want to have kids?" It's like you're just getting very like into their business very quickly, which is unusual because you don't do that really with improv teams. You don't like in the middle of the show go, "How long have you been doing improv?" You don't do that. And then, oh, that's cold water. That's cold. Yes, it came out in a little solid beam.
Sorry.
Okay. Another thing that she just brought up that I think is a really fascinating aspect of um, hair and beauty and stuff like that. And you see it. I saw it a lot more when we started watching like those reality shows about makeup, those reality shows like Queer Eye, like stuff like that. Is that part of the function of hair is to make the person feel beautiful. Like you can be like somewhat of a therapist in many regards. So part of the skill is like if you watch Queer Eye, John Van Ness is the guy with long hair. He'll go, "You look gorgeous," and he said it so fast that the person is almost like resigned to agree with them. So much energy, so fast, and with so much charm that it's less so a serious comment on what's been happening and more so like I don't want to say brainwashing technique, but in magic they call it pushing. When you push an idea in someone's head, and that the person goes, "Oh yeah, I do look gorgeous," because this other person responded so quickly and so genuinely with so much attention. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying it's really interesting that it's that psychology. That's the term I'm trying to look for. It's such a huge part of hairstyle, being a hair salon, and having a successful clientele. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And also part of that's really important for like um, clientele is you have to Monica. This is something that I think Monica found draining is you have to have a clientele so you can't be too polarizing, otherwise you lose people that might be your customers. So,
You're not really allowed to have an opinion,
you're not really allowed to have an opinion, she says.
and it can be very emotionally draining.
Yeah, and another thing that my cousin Janine, because my cousin Janine, I love my cousin, she's a hairstylist. Another thing she said is that like you have your hands on someone's head for like a half hour to an hour, depending on what service you're getting. And she says that along with being like someone's therapist and providing the service for them, you're absorbing energy. You're absorbing negative energy if they're negative, or they're draining your energy if they're draining. Like, and so that not just emotionally draining, it can be draining for energy and stuff like that.
Totally.
So I think like it's almost like I'm just going to close with this, and we'll stop after this. But like, I reminded what my friend Jay Sugo said of just have empathy. Like anyone you interact with, have empathy with them. And I think that when we talk about rich people having lost perspective or lost, like I think they view other people in the service industry as servants for them, and not as human beings that go home and have families and have their own love lives and everything like that.
What I've always liked, there's a quote about like, don't judge someone how they treat their equal, judge someone how they treat like their server or someone who works like underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like characters, how you treat someone who can do nothing for you.
Exactly.
And I think that, I can't remember who said that, I heard that quote somewhere. And I totally agree with that. My dad has been an amazing example for that, where it's so funny, if we go somewhere, my dad will walk up to the bus boy. My dad will literally go to the bus boy and tip the bus boy. Or my mom before has gone to the kitchen and tipped the dishwasher. And my dad, I remember I used to produce these shows in LA, very small shows, don't think I'm big or anything, but I used to produce these shows in LA. My dad, before the show would start, he would go and talk to the valets, and people would thought he was at valet. They'd give him his keys and everything. And my dad was just talking to valets because he identified. He was like, that's the working class. That's usually where minorities are found, and they're human beings and just trying to have a good time.
I don't have a mirror, but at least I have this video to realize. I was like, I feel like you're leaning away from me. This is going to affect your haircut.
But anyways, that's what my dad used to do, is he would reach out to the valets. So I've had a good example of that, of you just treat everyone like they're humans, with empathy. And I think that has carried over my interest in improv, where if when I'm on stage with someone, like the first thing is you look at them as a human being. You don't look at as an individual, as a human being where they are, as opposed to like thinking, am I funny? Am I going to be funny at the scene? Am I gonna, it's like the first thing I do is look at that other person on stage and go, like if it's Monica, go, there's Monica right there. I'm going to make sure that she feels good and looks good and feels safe. Sorry, I better stop because I keep on leaning away from her. But everyone, this is my wife Monica. I'm getting my hair cut. Everyone's doing well. Bye. Say it with me, Monica.
Bye.
Bye.